If you're a Cowboys fan, then you need to subscribe to us here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. Free videos every single day. Help me feed my family, and you get free Cowboys videos. I think it's a fair trade. Hit that big red button right now. Today's Dallas Cowboys Report is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all of their incredible men's grooming products at manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. I'll tell you more about them later on in today's show, but there are some rumors and news I want to get things going here on Super Bowl Sunday. First up is Michael Gallup a goner in free agency. I'm not sure what ends up happening with the Cowboys' number 3, I suppose, receiver. I'll give it 2 stars on this one. I think there is a chance he ends up leaving after Gallup recently spoke with Heavy.com about his upcoming free agency and offered what I thought was some pretty good insight into what he's thinking. Now, he's, of course, open to returning to Dallas. I wouldn't expect him to say anything other than that. However, he also commented on his desire to get what he thinks he's worth. I think that's important because we know how much Catboy Stephen Jones wants to win the deal. Here's what Gallup said. Quote, "I hope I did enough here in Dallas over the last 4 years to get what I deserve. If I could bold that, I would. I know this past year wasn't the best for me or anything, but I hope I've done enough and put enough on film to where the injury that I just had isn't going to weigh me down too much." So that's what I'm hoping to get out of free agency. He also had this to say. "Well, I know the Cowboys enjoy me being on their team. Honestly, they haven't really said a whole lot to me about the future. I just have that feeling that they might work with me on it, so they might work with me on it. So we'll see how it goes." Now, the Cowboys not talking with Gallup yet isn't a huge surprise. You got plenty of time to get that done, and I think there has probably been a little bit of back channel stuff between the Cowboys and Gallup's agent. Gallup is right, though. His numbers have declined. Best year was by far 2019, over 1,000 yards. 2020, of course, he didn't have Dak Prescott, so the QB injury a factor, and then this past year, the injury also a factor. This will come down to how much Gallup wants to command in the open market. He's not going to get franchise tag. Doesn't make any sense for Dallas to do that. So the Cowboys will let him likely hit free agency, and then it will be decision time with Gallup and potentially some other players on their roster. We'll spend some more time on this, but I want to hear from you guys first. What is the % chance that you think Michael Gallup re-signs with the Dallas Cowboys? I'm making this the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and drop a percentage for me. Again, a lot of it comes down to what Gallup is getting with the open market. Now, Kenny Golladay, coming off his own injury, he broke the bank, got $18 million per year. I think that's kind of the maximum value for Golladay. I don't see him getting above that, but who knows? Free agency gets weird, even in a good receivers class. Jarvis Landry got $15 million. Robbie Anderson got almost 15. That kind of feels like a good benchmark there. Corey Davis only got 12.5. Maybe that's kind of your floor. And even coming off the injury, Nelson Aguilar got 11. So if you want to retain Michael Gallup, I think it's going to come in roughly around 14, 15 million per year, which you could create if you were to move on from Amari Cooper. But also Cooper is better than Gallup, and maybe Gallup does take a bit more of a team-friendly deal. Maybe it's a 1 or a 2 year deal. It's even cheaper than that because the more years you add, the more average per year you end up paying somebody. So if it's a 1 year deal, maybe you could get him for 11. That'd be pretty lucky, I think, if you're the Cowboys. But it also limits your flexibility with how you structure the deal. Plus, you got Cedric Wilson, Malik Turner, Noah Brown. And now we're into the whole conversation of the trickiness that comes with the Cowboys this year at the wide receiver position. Today's show is powered by Manscaped. They have just launched the new Ultra Premium Collection. This is in addition to their awesome products such as the Lawnmower 4.0, 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Cowboys at manscaped.com. Yeah, they got body spray, deodorant, which is, of course, always important, body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, because why use two things when one thing gets the job done, and lip balm as well. There are some incredible men's grooming products, including the Performance Package, the Ultra Premium Collection, of course, the Lawnmower 4.0. Go get the best from Manscaped. We'll put that link and promo code in the comment section and in the description. It's manscaped.com. Don't forget to use promo code Cowboys for free shipping and 20% off. Let's discuss Demarcus Lawrence now. Could a pay cut be coming for the Cowboys pass rusher? 2 stars on this one. I'd give it 3 or 4. They're going to ask him to take a pay cut like Brian Broaddus recently mentioned. I don't know, though, if Tank will choose to take a pay cut because, well, he could probably get a pretty good amount of money on the open market, or at least he thinks he could get a pretty good amount of money on the open market. That's a bit up in the air. Again, this is where the combine tampering stuff always happens. You know, Lawrence's agent talking to a team about one player, but hey, you know, it's Lawrence kid. What would you pay him per year? And then the tampering goes down. You get a good feel for what you might get on the market. It's okay. Everybody does it. Lawrence's $27 million cap hit cannot stay what it's at. Now, the Cowboys have options. They could ask him for a straight-up pay cut. They could restructure his deal, but that also puts more money next year, and at his age, injury history, that gets a little bit dicey. Or you extend Demarcus Lawrence, which is also an option if you trust him to stay healthy. You might not, and that's where the pay cut comes into the fold. When he was out this year, Lawrence was awesome. He, Micah Parsons, Randy Gregory, pick a defensive tackle, was a great pass rush unit. But the injuries were a factor, although he continues to be one of your best defensive players when he's out there. The sack numbers, though, don't show it. And it is decision time between Randy Gregory, Demarcus Lawrence. You could keep both if you want to. Will the Cowboys want to? I'm not so sure. It makes things a tricky decision in the end for Dallas because although they could be ultra aggressive, they haven't always shown, in fact, have not shown the interest in frequently doing so. So what would you do with Demarcus Lawrence? Type K for you're going to keep him, or type D for you're done with him and you're going to dump his ass? Let me know in the comments section. That's right, I said the A word. Let's talk Nakobe Dean here as a draft target for Dallas. I'll give it 2 stars. I'm very much down for this particular idea. Floated out there by Bleacher Report. They had 1 draft target. Each team should have their eye out, and I think Dean is a good one for the Dallas Cowboys. We just went through the whole idea of, okay, what do you do with Randy Gregory, Demarcus Lawrence? You got your own linebacker free agents. If you lose one of those guys, I am down to play Micah pass rusher full-time at that position. That would then hypothetically give you Nakobe Dean and Jabril Cox there at linebacker, and that's a pretty good unit as far as I'm concerned. I think there's a decent chance a Nakobe Dean is there in the back part of round 1. I actually like where the Cowboys are drafting this year from a value perspective. He's a good football player. In general, you could pretty much say, hey, who do you want the Cowboys to draft this year? If you answer with that Georgia kid, you've got like 5 different routes in round 1 alone that you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So for Dallas, you're in maybe not quite 5, but you know what I mean. There's so many good Georgia players here. I am intrigued by Dean out of Georgia because I think he'd be a good fit for the Cowboys at linebacker. He can stop the run, he can cover, and he can blitz. You got to have 3 or 2 of those things in addition to run support to be an early round pick, either coverage or blitzing, and he can do both of those. Jabril Cox coming off the ACL injury. I hope he plays more, but he's a bit of an unknown 4th-round pick as well. Your other guys are free agents. It's a big need for you. If you don't want to pay LVE and or Keanu Neal, I've got no issues drafting Nakobe Dean. I would be all aboard that idea. And it's a video we've already done and will do again in the future. Draft targets for the Cowboys. So with that in mind, who do you want the Dallas Cowboys to draft this year? Drop a name or names for me in the comments section right now. And let's discuss Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy to wrap up today's show because this is awkward. Let's call it what it is, right? Sean Payton was asked, hey, you got to call Mike since their whole Cowboys rumors will not die around you. It was at the NFL Honors Show. They're just out there making jokes about, yeah, Sean Payton's going to take Mike McCarthy's job. And like we all laugh at it because we all know it. Like it's like, of course that's probably what's going to happen. Like that's a no-brainer, right? It's weird. You've got a head coach in place. You got Dak Prescott sitting there at NFL Honors, like awkwardly laughing because what else is he supposed to do? Like just stand there, like it's just not how it works. Here's what Sean said when asked about calling McCarthy. You know what? It's a good idea because I felt it took place for a while with Jason Garrett, a good friend of mine who I coached with for the Giants. Still a close friend to this day, and I consider Mike someone who's a close friend. Mike's done it long enough. We both entered the league as head coaches the same year in 2006. We're of the same age and of the same background. Look, our paths have been different. I'm his big fan, and I think he's one of those guys who is a fantastic coach. So Sean Payton said all the right things, but we know this is not going to stop. We know that this season, it's not going to happen this year, but this season, it is going to be the number one Dallas Cowboys storyline. Every time there is a loss, you know what? The Cowboys are going to be like, hey, Sean Payton rumors. It's going to be in the comments of every video we do, and I get it. I understand that he's out there for the first time truly in a while. Mike McCarthy has to win big in 2022. If he does not make a deep playoff run, the seat is going to be on fire. The noise will just be deafening. So the best way for McCarthy to silence Sean Payton stuff is to go win football games this year. And we'll see just how successful the Cowboys are in that as we get closer to the actual games.